friends, this is Harriet Williams with the More for Glory Project and my 4 boys. Introduce yourselves, boys.
Joseph.
And that's Moses.
This is the Micaiah. And that's Daniel.
All right, and we are actually conducting experiment number 2 for Seed Sowers because experiment number 1 was a little bit of a fail. So here we had our pot with some rocks in it, but it was supposed to be at the bottom of the pot, and we didn't even see the bean because it had been knocked over during Vacation Bible School. So I'm going to carefully empty this pot to see if the bean actually got put back in the pot or not. I might be looking for something to sprout and there be no bean. Okay, so let's see if we can find it. Oh, here's a little bit of the bean. I'm going to approach the camera here. This is the bean that was in the shallow soil. It actually did try to sprout a little bit. Nope, that's just the shell peeling. I'm going to open up this bean for you. That bad boy had no chance. All right, it's just as dry as anything. Okay, so we're going to reset this one here with the stones. Did you see the third bean, Moses?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Moses is in charge of the stones. So if you would please, Moses, you're going to fill up this pot up here to about 1 inch from the edge. Fill it up with rocks there. Also, we're going to do two more samples?
Sure.
Okay, in terms of, we're going to do 2 more pots with rocks, so that way we've got three pots trying to grow a great northern bean in rocks with shallow soil. So go ahead and put the rocks in there, Moses. All right, while he's doing that, we're going to label the cups for the next pot here. So what shall we label this sample here? Boys? Rocks or shallow soil? Beans and rocks, huh? Okay, so we've got rocks. No, that's good. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now Joseph's in charge of the soil, so just sprinkle a little soil at the top so we can have the shallow soil.
And there's too many rocks.
That's exactly right. It's supposed to have lots of rocks in it. Shallow soil at the top.
No, ma'am, I'm saying it's too many rocks because if there's too many rocks there and there's a little bit of dirt, it means it won't have enough space to grow.
Yes, sir. Moses, you have the rocks back in here to the level we want it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so pass that to Joseph so he can put the soil in it. Moses, if you would pass that one down to Joseph so he can put the soil in it. And we're going to move on to the soil with the weeds. Micaiah is going to be in charge of that one. Now this morning, I had videotaped our first experiment results. This bean was not showing this morning when I videotaped it about 5 in the morning. You see we've got a second bean, and that weed is dead. You're not growing at all. So let's dump this out and see what happened to the original beans that were in here. Okay. This is interesting to see. Hold on. Uh-oh. Somebody's got a root. Okay. Just carefully so you can see what happened here. So this was the dandelion root right here. I thought was pretty healthy. And then you see these beans. These beans were actually all the way at the bottom of the pot. They were originally planted towards the top of the pot, but they were actually all the way at the bottom of the pot and have some decent roots started. Isn't that cool? After only 10 days of growing. All right, that one came out pretty tall. If you saw the first video, I hope you paid attention and caught my blooper, how I had measured, the way I measured this, I had made a mistake. So we want to be careful next week when we measure that we have our ruler right side up. Okie dokie. So Micaiah's going to reset this one. Okay. He's going to plant the weeds. You want to put just a little bit of dirt at the bottom. and then put the weed in, and then we'll fill dirt in around it. Get the largest weed that we have. Notice all of these dandelions, get the largest one. All of these dandelions are nice and green. The earth, the original soil, is still got a lot of moisture in it, and I made sure I dug down in there to get as much root as possible in with the weed. You want to have Joseph put in a little bit of that garden soil on top?
Put a little.
Okay. Now Daniel's standing by because he is going to be our sower for today. So he's going to make sure every pot gets 3 beans. First one was rock. Second one we're going to label it weeds.
Seeds and beans.
All right. So the garden soil that I have is actually a mixture of native soil from the backyard as well as compost that we had been working on cultivating over the past year, as well as some garden soil from the store. It should have weeds already labeled on it.
And we got this one here. And Joseph, put a little bit right on this one. Okay, where is it?
Stop.
That actually might do it. And we'll put a little of this soil here. And I think we got it.
Okay. Now, garden soil. I'd like to see what happened to the bean that was in the good soil. Nothing was wrong with it, and yet we didn't see any bean sprouts. So I'm gonna dump that out. Oh, there we go. It was at the bottom. It was at the bottom. And here we go, a little bitty bean. One little bean had started to sprout in the good soil, but it was not at the top like originally planted. It was shifted down to the bottom of the pot. So after 8 days of being at the bottom of the pot, this is how much growth we got. Okay. Okay. But again, I don't know if this bean here, if this bean had actually been towards the top of the pot and then grew downward, or if they all were at the bottom of the pot. We don't know because the pots had been dumped over during Vacation Bible School. So this is a chance for us to try it again. All right, Joseph, we'll fill these up with good soil. We'll go ahead and label these other ones here. Good. Okay. While Joseph is filling those, this one right here was our field pea, the field peas in here. I want to show you something. Again, I videotaped this morning. There are 2 more beans sprouting out. I didn't see them this morning at 5 o'clock. Isn't that cool how quickly these sprout up? I'm not doing anything with this jar. I'm just going to continue to water it so we can observe how the field pea grows. So our control element is that all of them will have 3 beans in it. Okay? All of them will be planted at the... Are constant?
Constant.
Help me.
So your control group will be this, because this is these are your quote-unquote normal circumstances.
You mean the good soil?
Okay, these would be your normal circumstances.
Okay.
So that would be your control group. These would be your variables because it's like the control group only has one variation to it. For example, the rocks here, and this one has weeds. Okay. And your constant is each one is going to get three beans like such, and they'll be watered daily, correct?
Yes, they'll be watered daily. The idea is just we want to make sure that we keep the topsoil moist. If we feel that it gets dry, then we'll mist it with some water to keep watering it. Also, they're all going to be planted with Great Northern beans, and the depth of the bean will be the same. So I would think, Daniel, just your fingertip to press a little hole in there and put the beans in. go ahead and water.
Enter as seeds has been completed.
Which ones?
All of them.
Okay, what else happens if I miss?
That's.
Okay.
Can you guess?
Maybe you should pour out some of that water on the side just because it's really heavy. Let me see the
I
water.
got it.
That's good. Stop, please.
Ah, the flies.
That's good. Next one. All right. All right, well, thank you for participating in this experiment. We'll see you on next Thursday. And don't forget, it's all about
His glory.